Good to go? All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Schilling from Sequoia Health, bringing you this week's Wednesday Wellness Minutes. And as spring emerges and summer is upon us pretty quickly here, as we mentioned in the tagline, showing some skin. So everybody's peeling off the pants, putting on some shorts. One of our participants came in this morning and said, I'm showing off my white legs, which most of us North Country people are pretty white at this point in the season, unless you've been somewhere tropical or visiting somewhere else. There's a ton of information today as far as what can go on with the skin and how to help it. This is pretty near and dear to my heart because when I was growing up, I used to scratch myself till I bled. I had horrible eczema. It was all gut related and immune system related and stuff like that. So there's a portion of that. But we're going to talk about eliminating age spots, sleeping and skin, eczema and psoriasis, of course, how your digestion plays an impact, what you can do for skin care, bug repellents, sunshine and skin, and then sunscreens and stuff like that. So let's just get started. First and foremost, let's talk about eliminating age spots because a lot of people are, somewhat vain, if not completely vain, depending on who the person is. But age spots are pretty unsightly. And what I have found time and time again in practice is that age spots are typically related to liver toxins that can't get out through the liver and into the small intestine and out the bowels. So what happens is it gets pushed out to the skin because your skin is the biggest organ you have that you can see. Underneath that is the fascia, which is an even bigger organ than the skin. But as far as we're concerned, for this point, skin is your biggest organ. So it's a big time push in terms of detox pathways. If you have issues on the face, you can consider the mouth as a big the face is an outflow for the mouth. So you always want to look at dental issues, infected teeth, root canals gone bad, mercury amalgams that are off-gassing in your mouth and things like that. Those are a big problem. When you think about a way to get rid of an age spot, coffee enemas are fantastic. Most people don't think of taking a coffee enema, but you really want to get in your head somewhere that coffee colonic, whatever you want to call it, is going to increase your glutathione, which is a very powerful antioxidant, which is what's going to get those free radicals or those little Tasmanian devils that are running around your body and wreaking havoc and causing damage, weakening your mitochondria, your energy cells in your body, and getting them out of there. So a coffee enema is going to be great for that. So as I mentioned, the face is the outflow for the mouth, but then the arms and hands are going to be the outflows for the head, neck, and face. Anything up here, it all downloads out here. If you've done any mud packing, you'll know. If we've packed any sites on your head or your tailbone, which we'll get to in a minute, we always mud the hands and feet because those are the downloads in Chinese medicine. All energy flows out, down and around and back in. So if those downloads are blocked, you're going to get toxins that get trapped in your body, and they'll float around your skin. So keeping that in mind, get your infected teeth fixed up, do some coffee enemas, get the toxins out. One thing you want to keep in mind for all of us that are trying to condense time and get more done during the day, sleep is a big issue. Anything less than 5 hours uninterrupted is a big time problem because that's going to reduce your adrenal glands' ability to produce energy and produce things that are going to calm down inflammation and help you stay hydrated. So number one job is fluid balance, settle inflammation, and then of course energy. Everybody thinks adrenal glands like adrenaline. Yeah, I feel good, I get pumped up or whatever it is, or I get excited, but it's really about first hydration, then settling inflammation, then third energy. So if you sleep less than 5 hours, it's going to affect your skin because you're not going to be able to recover as fast. It's going to break your skin down faster. As we mentioned briefly, eczema and psoriasis. Psoriasis is a big time issue, and it really became more prevalent when the hydrogenated oils came in place. When they started saying animal fats are bad and this and that, and they started taking plant oils and then they started hydrogenating them so that they had the same effect as far as your taste buds go in your body, but it was really a plant-based instead of a natural saturated fatty acid. So they take all these different things and hydrogenate them. They add hydrogens to it, so it would be, I'd go from trans, we don't get into nerdy stuff, but if you've done any chemistry, you know about fatty acids in that end. But ultimately, that's going to make the cell wall weak, and it's going to decrease what's called humeric acid. And humeric acid is one of the things that's really helpful for your skin. People think of collagen and stuff like that, biotin, which is B1 vitamin, things like that for the skin, which are all beneficial. One thing you definitely cannot skimp if you want good skin is your digestion. If you are not properly digesting your food, if you need something like digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid to help balance your digestion, and you want to keep foods from rotting in your gut, it's really important because that's a double whammy. You get imbalance in your microbiome, which then your bugs in your gut can't produce the right fatty acids to lubricate and heal your skin. But it also, those toxins leak back in through the portal hepatic duct, which is part of your liver system. Get in the liver, they can overdrive the liver, then you get age spots and junk in your skin and all kinds of stuff like that. So you need to have proper digestion. Your digestion is absolutely critical for having healthy skin. White flour, white sugar, hydrogenated oils are three really what we call make-believe foods. Okay, so if you want to eat make-believe foods like white flour, white sugar, and hydrogenated oils, you're going to have make-believe health, because those things are not going to be good for your health. So you need to make sure you're getting whole foods in your body and making sure that they are taking care of your guts. But nothing will make you look older faster than having undigested food and having rotting food in your guts. So keep that in mind. Digestion is key. Looking at skincare. We talked a bit about mud packs a minute ago. We've talked about them in the past. We got the MediBody pack here. This is really good stuff. They actually made a Medifacial mask at one point because they wanted to sort of, probably a different market is probably what drove it. But this stuff can be used in a smaller quantity on the face and on the neck and other areas of your body. It can, I mean, frankly, anywhere. Like bug bites, put this stuff on there. Injury sites, put it on there. Acne, eczema, psoriasis, put this on there. Okay. It's going to suck toxins out that are trying to get out of your skin and then help your skin heal faster. So some of the areas that are distant to the skin that you might not think about are issues in the mouth, where you've had injections from Novocaine, you've had rotting root canals and things like that, abscess teeth that are in there. You need to mud pack those with the MediDental pack, which is up there. We also want to think about GV20, which is on the top here, or CV, or, well, I'm not going to go into that. I'm thinking neurofeedback now, so forgive me. But GV20 is on top of your head, okay, governing vessel 20. Packing armpits, those of us that have worn antiperspirants in the past and had aluminum coming on those, that can get into your lymph nodes and get toxic there and just leach out at a steady pace or get stuck in there permanently, and that can cause blocked lymph ducts and who knows what that can do to the breast tissue and other tissues in your body. Another good one is upper thigh just below the pubic bone. So you can see why I'd write all this down, because this is just so much stuff. It's just insane. Different sites, tailbone sites, gallbladder 21, which is right on top of the shoulder. If you ever touch someone on the top of their shoulder, especially in Minnesota, because we call the gallbladder the Minnesota point, because of all the, thanks to 3M and other companies that have dumped xenoestrogens and things like that into our waters and our soils, the gallbladder is really affected. So touching the top of the shoulder, right at the crest here, is a really big problem for a lot of people. So you can mud pack that and suck the toxins out, because the gallbladder governs connective tissue in your body. If you have a healthy gallbladder, think of it as breaks down it ejects the bile into your small intestine when you eat fat in your food. And so that'll break down the fat in your food so the bugs in your gut can munch that up, and then they can poop out good stuff, and we use that to lubricate our skin and things like that and repair our cell walls. So you have to have absolutely a strong, healthy gallbladder to have healthy skin, because if that's not healthy, your connective tissue is going to break down. But yeah, that's pretty good for the mud packs. You can actually take a Medi-Soak. Okay, so we got that up here somewhere. A Medi-Soak Cleanse, they changed the name, fantastic. But a lot of good minerals in here. You can actually bathe in this stuff, okay? Like literally fill up a whole tub, put a cup of it in there, and just soak in there. That is absolutely fabulous for remineralizing the skin and giving it the shine and the heal and stuff like that. Even once you've done about 4 coffee enemas, you're going to be amazed at how your skin's going to change and how the antioxidants are going to help replenish the skin and stuff like that. So take a bath, mud pack your skin. Moving on to something very important as we head into summer is bug repellents, right? So you can use things like oregano oil. I personally have found that if I take enough B vitamins with Max B, that the mosquitoes and gnats and stuff like that don't even like me, because it's basically coming out of my pores. All right, but you can use that, and this is not a really tasty smelling thing because it's a bit sulfurated, but neem oil is really good for putting in your body and or on outside your body to act as a bug repellent. It's also good for sunscreens, but this one is pretty stinky, so you might not want to put that one on your skin. But oregano oil is good for bug bites. And then, as mentioned, or bug repellents and then bug bites, you can put on there as well. But Max Stress B is good as well. Sun in your skin. So if you're eating a bunch of junk oils, like we talked about those hydrogenated oils, and you're thinking about what's going in here, is you have to understand that what goes in here affects your brain, affects your skin, affects every organ in your body. It's very critical to understand that if you're putting junk hydrogenated oils, if you're eating anything in a box, you always got to check the back. Is there any hydrogenated oils in there? Generally speaking, if it's in a box, try to have it 5 ingredients or less. And if you can't pronounce any of them, you should put it back on the shelf. Because if grandma can't pronounce any one of them, you shouldn't be able to. And therefore, it didn't exist when she was growing up. It doesn't exist now. At least it shouldn't. It's man-made chemicals. So keep that in mind. Using an oil change. One way to help your skin in the sun is to actually consume a couple tablespoons of coconut oil, extra virgin coconut oil, and then go out in the sun. And you can actually apply the coconut oil on your skin For those of us that are really white, really, really pale skinned, you might burn. It might char you to a crisp, so don't do that right away. So temper your enthusiasm. Don't go out between 11 and 1 right away. Spend a little bit of time, kind of ease your way into it and stuff like that. But taking coconut oil in, replacing some of those hydrogenated oils that have been fed to us for decades in new oil. But spend about 10 minutes in the sun and allow your body to start replenishing itself by healing through that coconut oil. Second to last here, we're going to talk about sunscreens. And if you look at any of the commercial sunscreens, you look at a lot of garbage in there. Okay, the Environmental Working Group is a company, a third-party verifier that talks about what ingredients are in products and stuff like that. They're a great resource. So go on their website, the ewg.org, I think it is, and or you can download the app from the App Store, Android, whatever it is, the Android store. But PABA is a particular compound they put in a lot of sunscreens, but the problem is it actually damages your skin. So it's going to break down the connective tissue in your skin, even though you're trying to protect yourself against it. One thing that I use in conjunction with Max B internally is you can actually apply a very powerful antioxidant, which is a green tea, to the skin. If you don't like liquids, we do have T-Vigo from US Enzymes, one of our partners here. They're fantastic. So for those of you who do not want to rub yourself down with a little green tea, you can always take the capsules on the inside, all right? Because remember, what goes in is dictating what goes on the outside. So keep in mind that for the green tea, internally, as a protection for your skin, antioxidant, about 1 teaspoon twice a day for anyone under 200 pounds. Anyone over 200 pounds is going to be about 2 teaspoons twice a day, depending on your toxicity level, depending on how fast you need to get these toxins out. Really important there. Resveratrol is another good antioxidant. You could do glutathione if you needed to. You could do coffee in it, but boost your glutathione 400%. Just depends on how you want to approach it. We talked about the neem oil. Neem oil is fantastic. You can rub it all over your face and skin, although you may smell. Nobody might want to hang out with you. Put it that way. Okay. Melatonin is a really good antioxidant. It's used by every cell in your body. Everybody thinks melatonin, oh, it's going to help me sleep and stuff like that. There's more melatonin produced in your gut than there is in your brain. Okay. Just like serotonin. I forget the number fold, how many more percent is produced of serotonin in your gut versus your brain. But the same thing with melatonin. Very little is made in your gut, or made in your brain rather, but a lot's made in your gut. So understand what goes in your mouth is going to affect your gut, which is going to affect your brain, which is going to affect every aspect of your life. Okay. Another one, an amino acid called L-carnosine. Stepping back, this anywhere from 10 to 20 milligrams for a female a day, because females have higher needs for melatonin than males, and then 3 to 6 milligrams for males, just to understand dosages and stuff there, in case you want to dive in that. Ubiquinol, CoQ10 is what it's more commonly known as. Ubiquinone, ubiquinol. It just depends on what you buy it, which form it is. I believe ubiquinol is the proper fully reduced form. Ubiquinone needs to be reduced yet, but this is really helpful for antioxidant and helping your skin heal faster and helping detoxify the sun. If you take long flights or if you spend a lot of time in planes, one flight from LA to New York or vice versa is the amount of radiation you'd get in an entire year on the ground. So just let that wash over you a second. So you take an 8-hour flight from New York to LA, that's the same amount of ionizing radiation that you would get from an entire year on the Earth. So if you fly a lot, you definitely better boost up your antioxidants because it's really going to take an effect on you. For those of you who are flight attendants and or pilots, very important for that because that's going to be your detox pathways that if they don't get supported, it's going to be a problem for you over time. And last but not least, let's talk about the neuroemotional side of things because if you have a skin issue, there's probably some connection to your brain. Generally speaking, we think of the skin as relating to, at least from a cerebellar standpoint, the cerebellum, your balance center. It's going to be feeling flawed, feeling insulted, feeling attacked, feeling shamed in some way, shape, or form. But a lot of people feel, I can assure you, when I was growing up and I had eczema on my arms, man, I felt defective. I felt like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? I got to hide my arms, put long sleeves on even though it's, not too cold out. But, you cover up your pants, wear pants longer than you needed to. Hopefully the summer months would make it less irritated. But it's always an inside job, right? No one thing causes any one thing, but when you look at things related to the skin, think of an inside job. The gut is a big time issue. If there are proteins that are getting through the gut wall due to leaky gut and stuff like that, and you haven't had your zonulin or things like that tested, it's a big problem. So feeling shamed, feeling defective is a big issue with skin. There are other things that are related to it. We won't go into them, but just understand that if there's a skin issue, it doesn't matter where it is. It could be on your thighs, on your face, on your arms. there's some type of neuroemotional connection. Not only a neuroemotional connection, but it's definitely a contributing factor. So you'd be well advised to identify and address any conflicts or unresolved issues in life that are relating to flawed, shamed, attacked, verbally abused, or things like that, defectiveness. Okay? If you need any more information than what I have produced here, because Lord knows there is more information out there, I tried to condense it down to small bites that are helpful. Eliminating age spots, sleep and skin, eczema, digestion, skin care, bug repellent, and skin and sun screen, things like that. Let us know if you have any other questions. Post the questions below, because if you have a question, somebody else has a question, we'll be happy to answer that for you and everyone else. I know that a young lady had commented on or made a post, and my wife Sarah commented on hers and tagged the clinic in there, and talking about chronic urticaria, and basically it's hives, right? And we see people come in all the time. It's amazing how it affects people. Usually, if not exclusively, it's related to stress. Okay, so if your adrenal glands can't keep up with the stress, you need to get your adrenal glands checked and figure out where the stress is. Is it internal stress? Is it external stress? Many times when we're looking to add a team member to our clinic team, we'll be sitting there in interviews and someone will just start popping out in the neck, right? And just starts creeping out. Which is, they don't even know it's happening, but they can probably feel it because they're probably sweating or nervous and stuff like that. But it can happen under any circumstances. It can be any type of relationship, any type of situation. But if you have an issue like hives, understand that you have to look at the adrenals. And then if your adrenals are quote unquote, I'm okay there, I'm taking B vitamins, woohoo, I'm great, then you need to look elsewhere in your life, where the stresses are. Where's the internal stress? We call it the U stress, the EU stress, instead of the distress, which is external stress. So for Jesse, I believe it was, that was dealing with the chronic urticaria, you need to look into your adrenal glands and what's not allowing your body to respond with the proper corticosteroids from your adrenal glands to your body to calm down the inflammation. If it's stress, toxins, foods, hormones, bugs, injury, or neuroemotional stress, any one of those can play a role. Okay, so ditch the diagnosis, get rid of that name, chronic urticaria. It's a hive. Okay, and not to dismiss it, it's very real and it's very obvious to you as far as your experience goes. But let us help you figure out what it is. It doesn't have to be a mystery. There's always reasons why things happen. Nothing happens in your body by chance. Whatever your vessel you're riding in, there's nothing happens by chance. If there's something happening, there's a reason behind it. We can help you find the why. That's our job. That's what we're experts at. So let us know how we can serve you. Let us know what subjects you'd like us to speak about and or provide information about, so that you can be more well-informed and be empowered to live your best life. And we'll be coming at you every week with this information, and we look forward to serving you. All right, guys, have a great night.